Howdy everybody, this is Bake with IronThroneCraft.com. Today we're going to continue discussing the Continental Domination from June, and this is going to be the end of round 1 and the beginnings of round 2, and like I said, there's going to be a lot of Continental Domination stuff coming up because everybody's asking about that, everybody's talking about it, and everybody just seems to want to see Continental Domination, see how it works, see how the big alliances play it, and in the newer kingdoms, I know the fields are a lot smaller with a lot less players, but like we talked about yesterday, you still want to bring in your top tier troops to every Continental Domination. You want to make sure you're boosted for the big tiles specifically, that way you can send your max marches. And I usually like to take several types of troops into each one, that way I can send out multiple marches. For smaller players that are, like I said yesterday, if you only have good gear on one or two types, just bring those types. Bring in your top tiers of them. Keep some home. Make sure your guard captain is set up. So this is a 20v20 against Fam. And you see that we're up against Braun again. And we managed to burn him in the last match. This time I didn't get it reset. So you see I am all infantry. And that is because what I did is I hit auto select on this tile. I didn't show it in the video, but I hit auto select on this tile, queued in my infantry, and then, forgot to go in and reset it basically. So you see I sent everything I had at him and lost. So that means that I'm not going to be able to burn Bran in this one. And I've still got it set, so I'm sending Majestic as my main hero and Infantry as my secondary hero, and that is why I wasn't able to burn him. I switched that up, started sending Single Type as my main hero and Majestic as my secondary hero, and that worked out a lot better. But you see, now I'm trying to backdoor him. So he sends a march at me, I send a march at him, and because he had troops out, well, never mind. I guess he got his troops home there. So you see I lost 30k and he lost 7k, so I wasn't even close. But I did win whenever he hit me as well. So we're just kind of trading blows at this point. And you see if I've got all my troops home, I win. If he got his troops home, he wins. You saw that my infantry attack is only 2,000 there, and my debuffs were up to 1,000%. So, or up above like 3,700%, which means it's Majestic main, infantry single. So at this point now, what I'm doing is I'm just waiting till the 13-minute mark, because I see that I can't take Bran out of the fight. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to make sure that we've got these sanctuaries taken, and I'm going to want to get a good spot next to their alliance castle. Because I see that I can't burn him, he can't burn me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to port next to their alliance castle, then I'm going to hit a sanctuary, take that sanctuary back. While I'm doing this, I'm yelling out on call, hey, somebody reinforce this sanctuary. That way it's not really easy for them to take back. I send my march, speed it in. As soon as I take it, watch what I do. Pull my troops out, but I am discussing on call saying, hey, pull your troops, or somebody put troops into this sanctuary. Now, I'm also watching my alliance city's HP. Because I only came in with infantry, I'm at a severe disadvantage here if they start wrecking our AC. Luckily, I also had Pumpkin Boy in this game, which is what Reaper Bob was going by for this one. So you see my castle got dropped down to 84, but we managed to drop theirs down all the way down to 68% in the first second. So I know that if it's a race, we're going to win. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit their castle several times. You see we've got both sanctuaries. They're both lit up red. That one we've all got an extra 2,000% attack, which is a huge deal. They didn't get those sanctuaries back from us. And I know that as long as I can get their AC down before they get our AC down, we're going to win. You see ours is still at 84%. If it had been getting crushed, like if it was dropping as fast as theirs was, what I would be doing is I would be sending my good infantry heroes over to our AC, reinforcing it, and then I'd be setting rallies on their AC. But because we had two bigs in this game, and they only had one big in this game, managed to pull it out, and just kind of ignored Bran right there. And so this is what the map looks like right now. This is the end of round 1. You see there's still quite a few people left. I've got to buy some extra ones, and that was a 100,000 gold revive bill right there. So now I'm going to join this 100 versus 100 tile, which is number 7. Cut a little bit there so you didn't have to sit there watching me wait for it. And you see we've got 100 participants in this battle. It's 100 versus 100. That participant count means the total from both teams. So when I see that, I'm a little bit discouraged because we have a lot fewer players in this one. And so I'm going into this. It does let you bring all your troops in. The 100v100 tiles are my favorite. As you'll see in the next few videos that we release, there's quite a few 100 versus 100 fights. You can get massive points in them. You get to bring all your troops in, so you can send all 3 marches and still have some siege. Always make sure you're boosted for that. That way you can, pop your march size and send all of your troops. And they're just a lot more fun. The rallies are huge. The AC battles are huge. And 100 versus 100 is personally my favorite tile type. It used to be unplayable lag. It's gotten a little bit better. You see, we got 27, they got 72. So as I said, a little bit disappointed in that. But I'm going to port right next to Earth right at the start of the game. He's their power player, and I'm going to not march in time. So he ports out, and so I just decide, all right, I'll hit the guy next to him. I have switched my hero types at this point. I think, maybe, I don't know. I'll let you know whenever we look at a report. I can't really remember if I did or not, but we'll let you know. But my Cav, one thing to note, my Cav, I was sending double Cav heroes. There was no Majestic involved in that. It was a Cav Agility main with Dominator secondary, and you see that it's just not going to work as well. I'll point that out in some later videos whenever we see me hitting people and burning them twice, but not the third time, and that is because my Cav were not able to burn them, but the two that had Majestic were. So now what I'm doing for the start of this game is, number one, I'm looking for their big players to score some points, and number two, I'm watching the Sanctuaries. And I'm also going to watch our AC, see if it fills up, and watch their AC and make sure I can get a decent spot. So I see Just for Relax sitting over here. I know he's a big player. I'm going to go and I'm going to triple march him. And again, the first two have Majestic, the third one doesn't, and watch what happens right here. We get a burn. I think that was two. Yeah, see, only 2 burns there, even though I hit him 3 times. That is the Cav not working. I got a lot of points, but you saw that my Cav, I lost a ton of Cav, as you'll see in my Cav amounts here in a little bit. So even if you have Guardian Gear can do some debuffing as well. It works a lot better if you're using it at your base, because you want to, a lot of the stats on Guardian Gear are only apply to your castle. They don't apply when you're attacking people. But one option, if you have a lower set of Majestic, especially in Continental Domination in these 100 versus 100 tiles, when you can get kind of lost in the sea of people, sometimes it's worth it to stick your Guardian Gear on your Guard Captain and then use your Majestic to attack, because the Majestic just does so much debuff and really helps whenever you're hitting these people. But as you can see, we're kind of getting swarmed at this point. I'm going to go and look at their AC. I'm going to port right next to it. They have all 3 Sanctuaries, which is a huge issue, especially when you're overpowered by the number of people. We have nobody in our AC, so what I'm doing now is I'm sending my archers to our AC, and I'm going to speed them all the way across the map and stick it in there, because our AC is getting crushed. And now I'm going to start hitting their AC. You see I send my infantry and my siege in the same march right there using Majestic Hero. And now what I'm also going to do is I'm going to send all my troops out, and I'm going to start trying to take these Sanctuaries from them, because if they have 3,000% extra attack, you saw I soloed their AC, I did no damage. Their AC up at the top right there still says 100%. That means that I am not doing any damage with my solos. They're still beating the hell out of ours. They're going right through my archers that are in it, and we just get completely whipped in this one. The game's about to end. That's why you can see the pinwheel right there. Defeat. So we got overrun. I didn't even have time to get anything done there, and they played that very well. They focused on the AC as soon as it went out. You saw their entire team port to the AC and just start crushing it. So even though I got my archers into there, the only way that I would have, and that was an 850,000 gold revive build as well, the only way that I would have had any chance of defending that would have been to stick all of my troops into the AC, and also hope that all the rest of our 27 players were sticking their troops into their AC, but then that means I'm not going to be doing any damage to their AC at that point. So big thing to take from that one is, number one, you need to focus on the Sanctuaries in those 100 versus 100 tiles. If you have all 3, that adds 3,000% attack. That is an enormous amount. So you need your mid-range and small players focusing on those Sanctuaries. It can get kind of expensive on speeds. Use your Alliance Vault gold to distribute speed so people can help out the Sanctuaries. But as you saw right there, even though, I mean, number one, Earth's a beast. So remember that. Earth is an absolute beast. He's got great gear, great research, very good player as well. So he's a monster, but we got overrun, and I couldn't take those Sanctuaries from them because they had them reinforced by their mid-range players. So even if you win a battle on a Sanctuary, like if I hit that Sanctuary and it says Sanctuary battle win because I killed more than I lost, it doesn't matter if they have more troops in there remaining. So if I send 1.5 million troops at a Sanctuary and they've got 3 million in there, even if I kill 2 million of them and I lose my 1 million, whoever has the most troops remaining is who holds the Sanctuary at the end of it. So you've got to remember that. If you have everybody reinforce those Sanctuaries, even if you get knocked out, quote unquote, and lose the battle, you're still going to have the Sanctuary. It's still going to belong to you until they get the troop count down in it. So now this is a 10v10 battle against PSY, and you see that I'm all infantry again. So start of the game, the first 2 minutes, like I've always said, the first 2 minutes are not very important. They're kind of boring. I'm just going to port around. I'm going to hit people. You see I've only got 500,000 infantry here. because it's a 10v10 tile, and I didn't go in and split it up. So I'm sending all infantry troops, and I'm just trying to get some points before the fight starts. The actual fight starts. The actual fight starts happening at 13 minutes. That's when it matters. And so you see there's our AC. They've already ported around it. See BattleBot there. He's their power player. They're all sitting around our AC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to kind of try to put the fear of God into them. And I'm going to hit BattleBot from, way outside because I didn't get a close spot to him. But I'm going to start burning down their power player. I got 52 seconds until their AC opens. Because of that, all I'm doing right now is I'm reducing his troop count, trying to make it where other people can burn him if we've got some smaller players in here, because reducing troop count quite a bit will allow you to burn out players that are larger than you if somebody else has already chewed through a lot of their troops. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm just getting his bars knocked down a couple times. That way, if we do end up having a big AC battle, then I can go back and try to burn him out quickly before he has the chance to get through the rest of our AC. We got 20 seconds until the ACs open up, though, so it doesn't really matter at this point. And you see they're all kind of swarming that person right there, Wicked Princess ports in. I'm just chasing BattleBot, going for points at this point, even though I'm not getting many off of him. Because that's how you get a lot of points in Domination, is you hit the biggest player. The higher tiered troop you kill, the more points you get. Now the AC is open. I'm sitting right next to it. So we're just going to go ahead and start hitting it with my infantry. You see that didn't reload right there. That was a little bit of lag. But I'm just going to go ahead and start hitting it with my infantry, saying on call to everybody else, hey, hit the AC, get this done. You see it's going down 15% at a time whenever I hit with all 500,000 infantry. So this one is going to be pretty quick. While this is happening, I'm watching up there in the top screen, though. You saw our AC get knocked down to 74%. Theirs is down to 69%. So now I'm going to start speeding more so I can win this race to get the ACs down. Because I only have infantry. I am going to have to send like half of them over here. That's why I'm sending half of them over here, because I saw that they were doing well. So I'm going to remove one of my infantry heroes and then send half my infantry over to our AC to reinforce it. That way we can stop the bleed on that. We can make sure that I can pull it out. So now I'm only sending one infantry hero. I've got a secondary one set up with Conqueror gear. That way he can still be a deputy there. And they took the Sanctuary, and you see how much less damage I'm doing to it. However, the bleed on our AC is stopped because I managed to get it reinforced. So because they took the Sanctuary, I don't want them to have that extra 1000% boost. So I'm going to hit the Sanctuary and make sure that I've removed that 1000% boost from them. So now at this point, because I've only got half of my infantry troops home, my options are to continue sending half my troops in solos and hitting this, or start setting rallies and getting more people in it. You see DJ up in the top corner has a rally set on the AC, and so that's going to be doing a lot of damage to it. So, but because there's already a rally set, I can't even set a rally. I know that, so I'm just going to keep on soloing it, hitting for 7% at a time. As you can see, though, our AC is still at 74.5%. They've been hitting it a lot. You see my points going up quite a bit while they're hitting it, and that's how you get a lot of points in this. But because the bleed stopped on it, and now we've got them down lower, I know DJ has that rally set on it, and I know we've got a big lead, so I pull the rest of my troops out of the AC. That way I can get them home, and I can hit this AC a couple more times and finish it off. I know that even without my troops in it, they're not going to be able to kill it in time before we manage to kill theirs. So it's all a race to take this AC out. If your solos are not doing damage to the AC, you need to, number one, stop soloing, because then you're just bleeding points into them and you're losing troops and you're wasting a revive bill. And number two, you need to start setting rallies on it. Ideally, you want your largest player in there to be setting rallies. If your largest player is able to solo do damage to the AC, you don't want them setting rallies. You want them soloing the AC, and you want your second largest player to be setting rallies. If you're not already on calls during Domination, get on calls. It's the most fun event in the game. It's a ton of fun to be on a call with the rest of your alliance discussing this, and it would be nearly impossible to win. So give me a like, give me a subscribe, and turn notifications on, because there's 3 more Domination videos coming out soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.